Hey, good morning. We are back here live on Saturday morning for a little bit of Kundalini breath work and meditation. And everything looks like we are connected. So, just a heads up, we are going to be doing an 11-minute meditation today. So, if you're someone who likes to make sure that you've got some sort of cushion or blanket, bolster, something to just fit under your bum so that you get a little bit more cushion, go ahead and grab that now. You can also just sit in a chair if you have that handy, if you want to do that for the meditation portion. So let's jump right into our theme for this week, which is your inner voice. And I wanted to touch on this because I feel like with everything that's going on with the world right now, with the pandemic, even just moving into like normal wintry times, we're sort of transitioning into this time where it's very much like we're spending more time indoors. We're spending more time alone. We're spending time sort of reflecting and kind of getting into hibernation mode, reflecting on our year and everything that's come with that. And most of us have probably spent more time with our inner voice than maybe anyone else this year. And so it's really important to think about that and think about what sort of company your inner voice has been. And by inner voice, I also mean like it's that voice that you hear in your head. It's that narrator. It's the voice that like comments on everything that happens in your life. It's that little like Jiminy Cricket character also that tries to tell you either why things are good or bad, why things may work out or they may go wrong. It's that thing that's sort of always guiding you, or you can hear it in a sense, right? And it's important to think about what that voice is saying, or whose voice is it actually, right? Because we may also run into sometimes, if we're working on self compassion, is that voice kind to you? Or is that voice being unkind and saying things like, well, you should have done this, or that could have been better? Not in a way that's like, sort of helpful, but it when you hear it, right? Whose voice is that really? And what voice do you want to have? Do you want to be kind to yourself and be encouraging and say like, hey, it's okay to make mistakes and it's okay to learn from things? Or do you want to have someone in your mind being unkind to yourself all the time? That's a pretty torturous place to be in. So what we're going to work on today is, wherever you are at in this, if it's something that you're saying like, my inner voice is a new thing that I've just been like maybe enemies with for a bit. If you're saying like, hey, I'm aware of it, but I don't know what to do. Or if you're in a space where you're like, I am using this year to make best friends with it. Any of those areas, any way along the spectrum is totally fine. Our work in this class is just to build that awareness and see how we can get one step closer to whatever that place is, our center that we're trying to find. So what we're going to do today is we're going to spend time connecting to that and working on the meditative aspect, which is noticing when the inner voice comments or when something happens, when you hear that thing, learning to just sort of let it go and just kind of accept it, almost as if someone was just like handing you a post-it that just said like a thing on it and you just went, huh, interesting, okay. And just kind of put it down, because that's what meditation is about. It's about learning to just let those things fall away instead of the need to continue with the story, right? So, especially if you've got that unkind voice going, or the voice that's trying to warn you about things that may be happening. Ooh, this may be bad. And then when the bad comes up, it shocks us. And then we go, well, how could it be bad? It could happen this way and that way and this way and that way. And we get into this state of worry that pulls us away from the present moment. So if we look back at yoga's roots, if we look back at just what is yoga in general, Patanjali left us some notes many, many years ago. This is like anywhere from 500 to 200 BC. Mind you, yoga was created in like 5,000 BC, 3,000 BC, so 5,000 years ago. But he was actually the one who codified it. And it's in his Yoga Sutra 1.2, which is the second sutra of book one. And he says, yoga is the cessation. So either stopping or slowing the fluctuations of the mind. So sort of just like still water. Because when we get those thoughts, it goes up and down and it can be erratic and we think about things, and maybe it's even fun that we're like dreaming about things too, and it could be joyous thoughts. But how can we stay grounded in this present moment? Working with the voice to just say, hey, yeah, thanks for that info, but I'm going to stay grounded in the here and now. So that's what we'll do. Whenever you notice those thoughts come up today, when you notice them, rather than continuing with the thought, just take a moment to anchor to your breath. Breathe in with that breath and just let it pass. And begin again and see how, rather than being distracted or letting it pull you away and pull away your attention and your focus, try to stay here in the present moment. And you'll see how that practice here on the mat will serve you when you're away from the mat, when you're interacting with people and those thoughts are coming out. Did that person just say what I thought they said? Right? Or when you're in traffic and something happens, right? Whatever your triggers are, rather than being pulled away from the current moment, you're going to be there, you're going to be grounded. So that's my hope for you today. An 11-minute meditation. Of course, we're going to warm up. Of course, we're going to get the body moving a little bit. This meditation today, it works through all these 8 central channels of the body and through the spine to really get us into that place of healing. So let's go ahead and get started on the mat. Bringing yourself to just a simple cross-leg position. Again, beginning to work on that practice of grounding yourself into the present moment. So take a moment now to close the eyes. Bringing that gaze inward. Start to connect to all of your senses right now in this moment. Letting everything else fall away. There's nothing for you to be right now. There's no items to check off of the to-do list. We're just here to simply be and breathe and heal. So connecting to your senses, focus in on your breath now. Inhaling and exhaling slowly and smoothly through the nose. Focusing on making that rhythm as smooth and fluid as possible, so that the flow between inhale and exhale and inhale becomes slowly blurred. And it's almost like one. Notice how the breath shows up in the body. So maybe you feel it in the nose, maybe you feel it in the throat, in the chest, maybe the rib cage, and of course the belly and that diaphragm area. On your next inhale, inhale just a little bit deeper. This may be the largest breath you've taken all day. Exhale completely, consciously, and begin again. Let the breath work for you today, working as an anchor and a reminder that if we ever get thrown off balance, we can always just begin again with this moment, with this breath. With your next inhale, bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, roll them down and back so that they sit just a little lower than before. From here, go ahead and do a mental scan and check in with the mind. Just notice how active or still it may be. Check in with the body. Notice where you may be hanging on to a bit of tension. And celebrate where you may be feeling areas of expansion. From here, take a moment to set an intention for today's practice, knowing where you are in your relationship with your inner voice. Think of one trait, one quality, one characteristic that you would like to embody today, and maybe moving forward through the rest of the year in a way that you would like to approach that relationship to your inner voice. And when you have that quality in your mind's eye, visualize yourself handwriting it on a post-it of your favorite color and sticking it just to the inside of the forehead. Let this embodiment, as well as your breath, anchor you today in today's practice. And from there, we'll solidify our intention by briskly rubbing together the palms of the hands. Taking a moment to focus on that posture too, rising up through the base of the spine, all the way up through the crown of the head, lifting the heart center. Very good. When you're ready to find stillness, you can press those palms together at heart center. Feel the knuckles of the thumbs against your chest. The chin is slightly down and back. Gaze is inward at the third eye. And from here, we'll tune in 3 times with the Adi mantra. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply. exhale completely. And inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Apply Mula Bandhas and pull up on that pelvic floor. Feel yourself containing that energy and visualize that energy now spiraling up from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. And before it's uncomfortable, exhale slowly, smoothly through the nose. Let the hands come down either to the tops of the knees or to the ground, depending on what you feel you need. And take a moment here, still keeping that gaze inward, to just witness the space that you've created. So again, scan the body, notice where you still may be hanging on to a bit of tension. And celebrate where you may already feel some expansion just from vibrating and projecting your own voice. Very good. Okay, when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open. We're going to move into warm-ups. And since we are going to be doing meditation that's working through that central channel of the spine, we're going to work on some flexibility and working on the spine. So let's come into a tabletop position. So we're going to be on all fours, knees stacked underneath the hips, hands stacked underneath the shoulders. If you have any wrist issues here, you can bring those hands into fists to support you. We're going to be doing is on the inhale, you're dropping the belly, lifting your chest, lifting your chin, and the exhale, rounding out and pushing away from the ground. Just moving at your own pace here, whatever's going to be most comfortable for you. Try to make this a fluid motion with waves. Really notice how this feels in your body as you move around and move through some of those sticky bits. It may send thoughts to your mind. So let's recognize when that happens, and again, just focus on the breath. We're inhaling up, we're exhaling down. Good. Inhale forward. Exhale, let yourself come down onto your heels for child's pose. Let the forehead touch the mat if you can. If you have another bolster or something that you'd like to set underneath your belly, you can, to give yourself a little bit more room. Let the arms come out either in front or behind you, whatever feels best. And again, just focus on the present moment. Notice where the breath is showing up in the body. Go deeply. Good. Yes. Inhale. Keep your hands underneath the shoulders. Use your palms to push yourself up slowly, smoothly. So the last thing to rise is your head. From there, we're going to slowly come into a standing position. We'll work a little bit on balancing those brain hemispheres. So angles, guys. We'll get it one day. All right. So you're going to take opposite hand to opposite foot, and we're just going to tap. So on the inhale, we're open. On the exhale, we're tapping here. So palm is touching the bottom of the foot here. You can go at your own pace if this is a little bit too quick for you today. Whatever you can do so that you still feel like you're keeping your balance and you're in control here. If that's too much, you can do the tops of the knees. If you've got a little bit of mobility, flexibility you're still working on, tops of the knees are totally fine. And if you want to get fun and playful with it, you could do the ends of your foot and kick out if you want to do your toes. It's kind of your own thing today. We're just trying to get opposite sides of the body to make contact with each other. Very good. Okay, inhale, bring those hands up overhead. Exhale, let them float down slowly. Okay, feet about hips width apart so that you can really feel yourself grounded there. So feel yourself through all four corners. Knees are soft. We're going to do 3 breaths here. So just really whatever you've been hanging on to, whatever thought you just want to get out of your mind, any other tension, just really go for it here. We're going to do 3 lion's breath, which is exhaling through the mouth with the tongue open like this. And we're going to add cactus arms. So arms are up overhead. They come down like this. Okay, so let's do 3 of those. Inhale deeply. Very good. When the arms come down, come back seated to a cross-leg position. Angles, angles. Very good. Okay, this last one, we're going to get a little slow with it. So the hands come to the tops of the knees. We're going to rotate forward, rotate that heart center around the base of the spine. Inhale forward, exhale back. And let that gaze come back inward to the third eye. We all carry a lot of tightness in our hips, so moving through this, again, that may also start to send those thoughts up to the mind. So figure out how to let it go and stay grounded to your breath in this present moment. Your next exhale, take a moment to pause and then begin rotating in the opposite direction. Still inhaling forward, exhaling back. Slowly begin to make your circle smaller and smaller until you find a neutral space at center. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Let your hands come to the tops of the knees and begin mudra, index finger touching the thumb just slightly. We're not crunching it, just slightly pressing. Begin to make circles with the tip of the nose as you roll the neck. So inhale on the way up, exhale on the way down. So keeping that lifted posture, still keeping the heart center lifted. Anchoring with the breath. So the last of our warm up, we want to open up that throat chakra area. We want to protect against what happens when the inner voice keeps the outer voice from speaking. I want to keep that channel open today. Your next exhale, take a moment to pause, and then begin rotating in the opposite direction. So inhaling up, exhaling down. Slowly begin to make your circle smaller and smaller until you find a neutral space at center. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And take a moment now to stretch out your legs, to get your bolster if you're ready, while I tell you about the meditation that we're going to be doing. So this is one that we've practiced before if you've done the meditation for global healing. And it uses the mantra here, Rama Da Sa Se So Hung. And this is basically calling on all the different elements, calling on the sun, the moon, everything that we sort of have at our natural disposal, this idea of infinity, of totality, to draw in healing. And then sort of like a prism, we reflect it back out so that it would look like a rainbow or a Care Bear stare or something like that. We can give it back to ourselves. We can give it back to someone in our life. We can try to project it out to the whole world if we want. It's very potent coming out of these specific sounds. And I've underlined these two areas here because whenever you get to that, you're going to give it a little bit of a punch from the belly. So it's Ra, Ma, Da, Sa. You don't feel it. Ooh, pull in on the navel point. Sa, Se, So, Hum. And that's going to be almost like if you were in band ever, something called staccato, where it's very quick, just kind of punch it a little bit, okay? So Ra, Ma, Da, Sa. Sa, Se, So, Hum. And let's keep a loose jaw on this one so that we're getting the ah of everything. So it's very healing for the heart, that ah sound, okay? The arm movement here, or not movement, it's stationary, but you're going to have the elbows in by the rib cage. The arms are out at about 45 degrees, so if you think this is directly in front of me and all the way out would be like 180, ooh, that would be really hard, or 90, I guess. That's about halfway at 45. And you want to have the palms flexed and the wrists sort of flexed, almost like you're holding a tray out in front of you. That's going to be the most difficult part, is keeping that tension there, okay? Because you're going to start to feel it in your forearms. You might feel it already, but be mindful of that. Now, if it's ever too much and you need to pop out, that's fine. Again, you can let yourself drop out. Just visualize yourself keeping that posture, okay? It's very powerful, the mind, what we can visualize. So we'll go here for 11 minutes. I will keep the time. Like I said before, go ahead and use the breath to anchor you. Use that quality on your post-it to embody. And just get to know yourself a little bit more and have fun doing it. And you can always sing. If I sing a certain part or I chant a certain part, you can sing the higher register, you can sing totally different notes, you can do whatever. Just get that inner voice out and project it. And find the liberation there. Ramada sa sa se so. Gaze at the third eye. Ramada sa sa se so. 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 Ramadasa Sase Soham 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 Ramadasa sa se soham. 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 Good. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Imagine someone that you would like to send healing to. This could even be yourself, just being totally glowing and engulfed in white healing light. Before it's uncomfortable, exhale slowly, smoothly through the nose. Do a little bit of wrist rotations here or hand flexes, whatever you need to kind of Give those forearms, give those elbows, give those hands a bit of love and relaxation. Ooh, that was a good one. And we are going to go straight into deep relaxation today. So go ahead and bring yourself lying down onto your back in a space that's going to be most relaxing to you. You even have the option, I mean, we're at home, you have the option to rest your legs up on things. If you have a bolster and you want to have your legs up at 90 degrees to rest, if you want to do legs up the wall, you guys are always especially invited to make it your own. But for now, we're just going to go with walk you through the traditional. So bring your hands falling away from the sides of your body, palms facing up. If your legs are on the ground, let your feet spread as wide as your mat. Just begin to relax into your support. See what it feels like, again, to not have to be doing or being anything. Just simply rest and be supported. So relax the tops of your feet, calves, ankles, knees and thighs. As you relax your breath, relax your belly, relax your lower back. Relax the rib cage and the shoulder blades as you sink deeper into your support. Your shoulders fall away from the ears as you relax the arms. Relax the elbows, wrists and hands. As you relax the breath, relax the shoulders. Relax the chest. Relax the neck. Relax the jaw so there's space between the teeth. Relax the muscles on the face. The eyes behind the eyelids. Brow, forehead, and scalp are all at ease as your head rests gently against the floor. Take this time now to just rest and be as your body integrates the work that you've put in today. Healing its 3 trillion plus cells. Slowly begin to deepen your breath as you return back to your body in this moment in time and space. Begin to invite tiny movements into your fingertips and toes. Begin to rotate the hands around the wrists and the feet around the ankles in all directions. And just inhale, bring the feet together, bring the arms up overhead for a full body stretch. Just like you're waking up in the morning. Maybe you even have a little yawn. In Kundalini, we're always stepping into forms of release. So it could be a yawn, it could be a laugh, a burp, a fart, crying. It's all welcome. So with your next exhale, slowly bring those knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Rock from side to side. Focus on lengthening the spine through the tailbone. Good. From here, begin to rub together briskly the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet. Rub the tongue along your roof of the mouth, stimulating the body's energy centers and meridian points. And from here, you can either bring your knees to your nose and your feet overhead and rock and roll along the spine, or you can simply turn over to one side, push yourself up with your hand to come back into a seated position. We will close out our practice today, taking a moment, bring your hands into heart center to reconnect with that trait, with that characteristic on your post-it. May the embodiment of that characteristic bring you more peace, or to more of a balanced place than where you are now. So with that, we will sing the Long Time Sunshine song to close out today's practice, sending our peace and blessings again to ourselves, to everyone we know, to everyone we have yet to meet along this path of self-mastery. So inhale deeply. Exhale completely. And inhale to sing. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we be holistically in union, mind, body, spirit. May we continue to do the courageous work of stilling the fluctuations of the mind in order to come back to the present. Sat Nam. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I'm on the edge of giggles because just as we were finishing, I was thinking of that quote that says, the present is a gift. That's why it's called the present. So I'll just leave you with that silliness today, and we will meet again next Saturday morning for Kundalini breathwork and meditation. Bye.